There is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. We are in everything CUZCO. We've been here for a couple of weeks. Today, we go inside the building, and you will see for yourself, the Corey Concha, you will see for yourself what the guides are saying about the stone structures. I will weigh in, but first, a word from our sponsor, My Patriot Supply.
Global problems are having local consequences, too many of them. Take food shortages, for instance. Supply chains can break down at any moment, as we've all learned the hard way. And we've seen it. We're experiencing it in real time right now. That means now is the time to get yourself some emergency food from our good friends at My Patriot Supply. They're America's largest preparedness company with millions of happy, well-prepared customers. Let me just stop right there, folks. We've got cans in Oklahoma. We've got cans out here in an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. So we love their product. It's great, and we're stocked up. My Patriot Supply food lasts for up to 25 years in storage. It's an insurance policy that you can eat. When you need it, it will be there. Act now and save $50 on a handy 4-week emergency food kit. The kit provides breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. Every person in your family should have one of these. Go to my special website, preparewithla.com, and save $50 on each 4-week food kit you purchase today. That's preparewithla.com. Those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Once again, preparewithla.com.
Once again, look at the stones. Realize that you are looking at the fingerprints of the supernatural. I can't say it often enough, but that's what we're looking at here. It's absolutely incredible. You cannot do this in modernity. Now, we've got cranes and diamond saws and lasers, but you really can't do this type of construction. So I'm going to play the next clip, and we are in the building, as it were. And you will hear for yourself what the guides tell us, what they've been trained to say. So it's like somebody way up there tells this guy, this is what you're going to say, this is the party line, and then if you want to be a docent, you've got to study all this information, and you've got to be able to regurgitate it. And so what we're seeing is the archaeologists all working together in an echo chamber. And anyone, like yours truly, who comes up with another alternative and saying, wait a minute, if a copper chisel will not cut the andesite, then you better start looking for another theory. And we know that copper chisels, as I showed last week, I'll show it again maybe tomorrow or Friday, it does not cut the stone. And if it doesn't cut the stone, you've got to come up with a new paradigm, another theory as to what you're looking at. Remember, most of these people who promulgate the idea that the Inca built all these structures are ardent Darwinists. Not all, but many. And of course, in a Darwinian paradigm, there is no supernatural, there is no God, there are no absolutes, there is no really right or wrong, there's no moral anything. Because, it's all made up. It's all made up. And that's why the whole Darwinian paradigm is so dangerous, because, you get these guys in these underground labs, they could care less. They'll take the DNA and who knows what they're making. As in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. What differentiates the days of Noah? You had chimeras on the planet. Not making this stuff up. We know that the fallen angels manipulated DNA and combined DNA and created chimeras. Centaurs, minotaurs, fawns. Is it Greek mythos or something else? All right, let's move on. Here's the clip. There's the guide. Let's see what she has to say. And before she says anything, look at the stonework. Look at how precise it is, that you can't fit a piece of paper between the stones. Here we go.
And now.
Okay, good afternoon, friends. Welcome to CUZCO. My name is Jerusa. Nice to meet you. The name for this place is Coricancha. Coricancha is a Quechua language. Cori means gold and Cancha means place. In the Inca's empire, all these Inca temples was covered with gold and silver. These temples was building in 1438 by the most famous Inca king was Pachacútec. Pachacútec was the best Inca king because he conquered the small cultures and expanded the Inca's empire in almost all South America. Now, for example, we are in the Temple of the Rainbow. But maybe you saw in the street the flag with many colors. It was a representation of the Inca's flag with the rainbow colors. But this kind of the walls we call Inca Imperial. It's the most beautiful buildings that you are going to see. Have you been in Machu Picchu?
But let me ask you something. How did the Inca create this type of masonry
Have the rocks?
where we only see, there's no two stones here that are alike, and there's no two stones are alike. The joinery is precise. There's no mortar. How was the Inca able to do this when we see later stonework that they cannot duplicate? I think this is much, much, much older, and the Inca found it and then built the temple around it.
Yeah, but I explained about why I read about the chronics.
About the what?
The chronicles. The chronicles
The
is a
chronicles,
yes.
okay.
I explain about this. I don't know. I'm not sure. If the Incas built exactly because in Sacsayhuaman the most heavy stone is 140 tons.
Yeah, how do they move?
I don't know how they move.
Okay.
But I have the examples. I can. But maybe if there's 100 tons, it's no good. Maybe broke.
Yeah, this is the standard archaeological model, which we don't adhere to only because just a casual observer can see that the technology that is used to build these stones are advanced. We can't duplicate this today in modernity.
Yeah.
We cannot duplicate this. Therefore, we are looking at a technology that supersedes not only the modern Americans or the modern people, but certainly the Inca and everyone else after or before. This is ancient. It's thousands and thousands of years old. Thousands of years old.
Well, but I don't know. But I told you again about what I read, But because another chronics tell about another things, they said, okay, the ovnis built this, something like that. Right. Yes, But why these walls are very difficult to fall? Because inside this stone have different shapes. It's not with mortar,
I understand.
But here, this stone maybe inside have a hole, and this stone have another piece of stone to connect with this. You understand?
No.
Yeah. Why these walls are very difficult to fall? Because inside have different shapes. It's not the same like you're looking now. Okay. If you stand up there on the stone, stand up. Like me. You.
So what we're looking at here, she even says that the inside of the stones, and you'll see that in another clip coming up, the stones have different shapes inside. What are we looking at? How was this done? And you'll look here, not one stone. Look, when you build with brick, the bricks are uniform, and you use mortar between the brick. When we build with concrete blocks today, right, cinder blocks, whatever you want to call them, okay, they're all uniform. And then you use mortar and you put rebar in and you throw the concrete in. But these, every single stone is different. There's no two alike. They're all different shapes and sizes, and yet they fit together like a cosmic jigsaw puzzle. So, we're in the Coricancha. It's a fascinating place, and we'll get into that and so much more in just a little bit. Remember, if you want to see all of this, go to our Watchers 6 and 7, Secret Cosmic War. It'll blow your mind. These are outtakes that didn't make it into the film. And what's so cool about this is you're getting a behind-the-scenes look just how we made the Watchers series and how we make and continue to create films now, specifically on the trail of the Nephilim. There they are, streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. What are you waiting for, folks? Let's talk about our UFO stuff here. I think you'll find it interesting. So before I get into that, I will be at the Dallas Hear the Watchmen Conference, March 17th to the 20th. Promo code LA20, or is it 20LA or LA20? I'm not sure. Use the promo code LA20, get $20 off. LA20. Go to hearthewatchmen.com. Hearthewatchmen.com. What are you waiting for? It's been 2 years of wearing masks and lockdowns, and you can't do anything. This conference is a full go, as even California, the people in California, but California is now beginning to relax some of their stringent enforcement. So very interesting. Eyes to see. I will be there. I will be speaking. I'm not sure what day. Please check it out. LA20. Get $20 off, and we hope to see you at the Dallas conference, March 17th to the 20th. All right. Incredible. So this came in from our good friend Matt Brunet, a friend of the show. Extraterrestrials are working with U.S. government, claims Air Force veteran and nuclear physicist. So what we are looking at are the so-called tall whites. We've heard about all this before. The tall whites are very real. Some people confuse them with the Nordics, but we've had too many people come on the record talk about the tall whites. They're usually between 9 and 12 feet tall. They kind of float over the landscape. In my opinion, these are supernatural entities. I believe, in my opinion, they have a nefarious agenda. It is now a fact that UFOs are tracked on radar, performing maneuvers that defy our idea of physics. Jets are constantly scrambled to take a closer look at them. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Release of files began early in 2007 with the UK, among others. Since then, they release thousands of pages every year, with the latest ones published in June 2013, made available at the UK's National Archives. You can view them here. Check out the video below to listen to the type of experiences Dr. Hall has to share with us. Look, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Not because L.A. Marzulli says so, although I've been flailing my arms wildly for decades now, warning of the coming Great Deception. Why? Because when they show up, everything as we know it changes. You think COVID lockdowns was something? Wait till this happens. Is the church here? I don't know. There's a saying I coined years back. We go up, they show up. We go up, they come down. Is the church restraining it? Because we are indwelt by the Spirit of a living God? Possibly, very possibly. But we really don't know. All I do know is that we are seeing an ongoing revealing of the so-called extraterrestrial presence. I find it alarming. Free film. I can't do any more than that, folks. Free film. If you open up the text box right below the video, you will see a link to the free UFO film. Go there. What are you waiting for? Watch the free film. Educate yourself. Invite people over. Invite your pastor over. Send him the link. He needs to watch it. These are real people. Many of them in churches just like the one that you go to. And they sit in silence, in fear, because of ridicule and shame. Some of these people have been abducted numerous times. They have been probed. Sperm has been taken from the men, ovum from the women. They have seen their so-called offspring years later. I'm not making this stuff up. I've been in this wheelhouse for decades. Our second film has had a little bit of a setback, but we're still working on it. We're also working on number 3, 4, and 5. So there will be 5 parts to this series. We hope to get at least 2 or 3 out this year. We'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, that's all the time I have for. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of a Nephilim and, of course, our daily UFO update. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air.
Alan Matthews, I've seen a UFO.
I've seen a UFO.
And I saw a
And I saw a
UFO.
UFO.
A